Hey lovelies, welcome to another video. Symptoms, pregnancy symptoms. Me and symptoms have had a very weird relationship over the past 12 months of TTCing. So to be able to actually say that the symptoms I have been feeling are pregnancy symptoms is something utterly crazy. So let us go into symptoms, technically weeks 0 to 4, but we all know it's from ovulation until BFP and until week 4. So, did I make sense? What did I just say? You guys know what I mean. Let's get into pregnancy symptoms up to 4 weeks. Okay, so the first things that I want to mention is the fact that from ovulation, and pretty much I had no idea when ovulation was 100%. I realized it later. Starting from ovulation and moving forward, I pretty much, like the symptoms that I had, the symptom for me was the fact that I had no symptoms. So other than a light cramping on the day of ovulation and the day right after, I had no other symptoms. I have my notes in front of me. If I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. Pretty much up until 4 DPO. So with me and my previous cycle, some of you may know, I would get extreme breast pain immediately after ovulation. Actually, the day before ovulation, I would have like ovulation pains. And then on the day of ovulation, probably as soon as I ovulate, so like maybe halfway through the day, later in the evening, my breasts would start hurting, like painful, just shooting pain right through to my nipples. None of this happened. I did not get ovulation pain. I did not get breast pain. All I had was the light cramping, and this was very light cramping on ovulation and at 1 DPO. That was all around ovulation. From ovulation until 4 DPO, I had pretty much no symptoms. Like there was nothing that would make me think. Like I even started feeling like I hadn't even ovulated because I didn't have any of the normal symptoms. And because I hadn't been tracking, I actually started thinking that maybe I hadn't even ovulated. That's a whole other story. 4 DPO in the evening, well, kind of during the day, from like probably around midday towards the afternoon, I started feeling a pinch in my right side. It was like this odd little pinch, like around my right ovary area. I can't really explain it any better than that. And as the night went on, like by the time I went to bed, it was actually like a throbbing kind of sensation, like a stabbing, throbbing, not like painful, like, oh my God, I need to like see a doctor, but it was it was a weird sensation, and this was at 4 DPO. And I know most of the things I'm going to talk about, especially like up until implantation, these all happen on a very tiny cellular base. Like technically you shouldn't be feeling anything. You can't feel these things, but somehow my body was obviously reacting to something. So I feel like that may have been the point where the egg was actually moving along the tube, or the embryo basically was moving along down the fallopian tube. So after that point, I didn't really feel anything. 5 DPO was kind of like, okay. From 6 DPO, so from 6 DPO is when things kind of started happening, which was very, very weird. So the number one thing that happened from 6 DPO until today, basically, I don't remember anything. Like mom brain, pregnancy brain, call it what you will. I cannot remember anything anymore. I just forget everything. I forget tasks. I forget, like if I don't write something down, 100% I will forget it. Now, more specifically, at 6 DPO, I started feeling restless at night and I couldn't sleep. And this was one of my first symptoms with Angel as well, insomnia. I could not sleep with Angel until like 4 AM. So I started not being able to sleep. Like I was tossing and turning and I was uncomfortable and I couldn't sleep. And I found that so weird. And when I finally managed to go to sleep, the dreams were insane, to the point where I actually had like a night terror actually, which I haven't had a night terror since I was a kid. So that just, yeah, like my dreams were so vivid that I was utterly terrified at one point. Like, and 6 DPO is also when my hot flashes started. So I started, and we're talking like it's cold. Like here in Australia, the weather kind of fluctuates a lot. Like today it's really hot. You know, tomorrow it'll be actually like 10 degrees down. Like it's just insane. So having said that, I started getting hot flashes randomly, 6 DPO. But these are like the things that like I haven't had these. So I haven't had hot flashes, like the vivid dreams. They kind of, like I kind of had vivid dreams over other cycles, but not to this extent. Like the vivid, like I can't even explain it. It is just higher level. It's just insanity. And the lack of being able to sleep. Like I would literally put Angel to bed and then I'd be out like a light. Now I can't sleep. And that's, yeah, that started from 6 DPO. Fun times. Moving on to 7 DPO. Now 7 DPO is where it gets interesting because it's when I believe I implanted, and the pregnancy test later on kind of confirmed that as well. So 7 DPO, I still had the insomnia, I could not sleep, vivid dreams. Anytime I fell asleep, I was just straight away sucked into like dreamland of insanity, and I kept having the hot flashes. Oh really? So straight away, hot flashes, dreams, everything continued on. And I actually started feeling a bit bloated. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't get comfortable. Now that night on 7 DPO, I actually started feeling this pressure and this like kind of a pinch, but not exactly a pinch. It was more of a kind of like this is like my uterus, basically, the wall of my uterus. And I kind of felt like something was pushing. Like there was like this pushing sensation. And I know, again, that it's on such a small level. All these changes happening are on such a tiny, tiny, tiny level that technically you can't feel anything physically. But I swear I felt just weird. And I felt like something was happening in that area. I hadn't felt that in any other cycle. I hadn't felt that. It was just weird. And I was like, could this be implantation? Like my brain did kind of go there because naturally we do that. You know, you symptom spot and you want to see the symptoms. So you do think it. But again, I kept telling myself, you can't really feel implantation, right? Moving on to 8 DPO, I got my negative test, as you guys know. So negative pregnancy test as I did the previous day. However, what started happening at 8 DPO was something that kind of, it did start over the past couple of days, but not to a point where it actually like made me really, you know, wonder about it. My breasts started feeling way fuller. They weren't painful. They were maybe slightly sore on the sides, but they weren't painful. Like it wasn't painful like the shooting pain that I would usually get. They felt fuller, and the areolas, which is the area around the nipple, as well as the nipples, were darker. So the color started changing, which again was one of the first symptoms I had with Angel before I even got a positive pregnancy test. So my breasts started doing all the things and insomnia continued. I started getting bloated to the point where I actually couldn't sleep on my belly. It was uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep because I just couldn't sleep. And then I couldn't get comfortable so that I can sleep because I was bloated, and all the things started happening at 8 DPO. And let's not forget the hot flashes that just kept coming and going randomly. Also, another thing that started at 8 DPO, which I find interesting, is the phantom kicks. So for all of you who already have babies, you will probably know that phantom kicks are kind of like, you feel the baby kicking, but you don't really have a baby in your belly to kick you. So it's like phantom kicks because it's not real kicks. So it's kind of, I don't know what happens or what your body's doing at that moment. But yeah, so phantom kicks picked up at 8 DPO. I would randomly get them from time to time, but I hadn't felt phantom kicks throughout this TTC journey. The last time I felt phantom kicks was back when I had my chemical pregnancy. That's when they started up again, and then they vanished after that. So phantom kicks picked up at 8 DPO as well. So 9 DPO. 9 DPO is the day I got my positive pregnancy test. However, before actually dipping the test, I noticed that my gums were hurting, like all my gums. Every inch of gum in my mouth hurt. Not like in a I need a dentist way, but in just like a general, like, they were just sore, like just generally sore. Like, I would clench my teeth and they would hurt. It's the weirdest sensation. And it vanished later on in the day. But again, that was something I had with Angel, and I found it so weird at that point. I was like, hold on a second, what's going on? And of course that paired with the fact that my breasts were still super tender and super, like, they were just fuller. They felt fuller and darker, and I was still not sleeping. The bloat was not leaving. I was super bloated. I could not get comfortable. It was just the weirdest sensation. And then I finally actually got a positive, which actually confirms that 7 DPO was implantation, because you do need about 2 days to get a positive pregnancy test after implantation. And the lines were there, light, but there. How it's possible to feel implantation, I know, but it's a thing. Now, continuing on, say I hadn't tested and I hadn't known that at 9 DPO that I was pregnant. From 10 DPO on, I still had vivid dreams, I still had the lack of sleep. But at the same time, I also started losing my appetite. That's Angel singing, she's sitting next to me. So I started losing my appetite. I just wasn't hungry. Like, I didn't want to eat. Nothing seemed appealing to me, which I found really, really weird because you would think you'd want to eat all the things, but no, I didn't want anything. Nothing whatsoever. At 11 DPO, I started feeling tiny, tiny waves of nausea, like really tiny, coming and going, barely just kind of rocking the surface and being like, hi, and going away. And that is when I started feeling tired. So I had been absolutely like my normal, usual self. Despite not sleeping, I was feeling absolutely fine. From 11 DPO moving forward, the tiredness is something else. Pretty much, I'll wake up with full-on energy. I will be able to do 1,000 things during the day, and just after about 2 or 3 p.m., I'm out. I've clocked out. I cannot do anything. I'll just sit on the couch or sit on the floor and play with Angel. That's as far as I can get. My brain just goes fuzzy. That's it. 12 DPO, my nausea continued to kind of come and go in waves. Very, very light. It actually concerns me that I already have like small, like, you know, things of nausea, because what does that have to say for later on when things start, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. So bloating, sore breasts, and light feelings of nausea were what basically kind of got me at 12 DPO. Also, 12 DPO, I started craving salty foods, like, and not just salty, but just generally savory food. I didn't want sweets. I'm a sweet girl. I love my ice creams, I love my cakes, I love chocolate. Like, I am a sweet girl. I have a sweet tooth, it's a thing. When I was pregnant with Angel, I absolutely loved eating chocolates or like sour candy, anything like that. Right now, all I want is food, like savory food. Like fries and burgers and pizzas and just, like my entire palate has changed, basically, since 12 DPO. And 13 DPO is pretty much the same. Again, I feel like loss of appetite is probably the biggest thing, and when I actually do eat, I feel really sick afterwards. Like, I regret eating. That's one thing I did when I was pregnant with Angel. I literally stopped eating at a point because I just felt sick when I ate. So it just, like, it felt better not eating, because whenever I would eat, I would feel crazy sick. So I prefer the light pangs of hunger from time to time, which were very rare, by the way, rather than eating. And this is happening this time as well. Like, I can't eat, because every time I eat, I feel sick, basically. So, and finally, I just wanted to mention my blood test results. Considering that 14 DPO is technically the 4-week mark, I'm going to do that update. I like my 5-week update. I was exactly 4 weeks on Monday, actually. So today is Thursday. I'm 4 weeks and 4 days today. And it just gets like, it's just uphill. Uphill, people, uphill. So basically, with my blood test, everything came back awesome. On Monday, I was at a 336, which was the estimated 4 weeks, which means I am pretty much on track with when I think I ovulated as far as the blood test is concerned. Like, it's actually like an estimation, but, you know. So basically, everything is fine. My iron levels are perfect. Everything else, all the hormones, everything is how it should be. Everything is progressing perfectly. Even my progesterone is great. I'm like, okay. I am one happy girl. I haven't had any like cramping, pains, spotting, like nothing like that at all. With Angel's pregnancy, I actually did have all those things, which is why I had to take supplements, like progesterone suppositories, basically. So this time around, I've had none of that, and I'm so happy about that. I will be going in for a dating scan. I will be arranging that probably at 6, 7, maybe even 8 weeks. I just want to make sure that when I go in, we can really see baby. So we'll see how that goes, because I believe after that, the next scan is at 12 weeks. So it kind of depends on how long I want to wait now and how long I can wait after that to see baby again. But yeah, so either 6 or 7 weeks, I think. I doubt I can make it further than that for my dating scan. And once I'm done with the dating scan, then my doctor will refer me to a hospital, a maternal hospital, so that I can see the midwife and kind of get the ball rolling from there. So I have no idea. I'm kind of taking this step by step because I really don't know how the Australian system works. I had Angel in Greece. I had my gynecologist that I would go and see. I knew exactly what was going on. I would get a scan every time I visited him because he had his own like machines and stuff in his office. So this was a private doctor that we paid. And then I had Angel in a private hospital as well. That was our choice. It was what we thought was best for us in Greece. And I specifically wanted that specific doctor. So that's kind of, you know, you have to make certain decisions based on that. Here in Australia, I will be going to a public hospital. I don't know how everything works 100%. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting journey and I'm really excited to have you guys come along with me because it's just, yeah, I'm learning. I have no idea how things work here and it's all new. So yeah, we're on a new journey. We're on a new, like, oh my God. And honestly, I know it sounds weird, but I still can't believe I'm actually in this stage. It just feels kind of surreal. And I will be doing another video just kind of chatting generally about this cycle as well as about the TTC journey, negative tests, all those things. I have read all your comments and I will definitely be doing all the videos. I promise you guys I will be answering all your questions and I will keep on doing TTC videos because I feel like there's a lot of things that we haven't talked about, we haven't discussed, and I really, really want to touch upon all those things and support you guys because I know that there are so many of you who are still trying, and what I find amazing is how many of you have your babies, how many of you are pregnant, how many of you are still trying. It's like we're this huge community of women going through things that just, we are amazing basically. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.